I thought I'd take the time to give a really good close-up of this revolver. I really love this thing, and I'm going to give a backstory of why I purchased this thing. I may have said it a few times in my other videos, but, I was cleaning the thing last night, and I just got to admiring the thing. And I'll explain why I got it, and, oh yeah, I'm going to show it's unloaded first, but here's some up close of this thing. It really is a beautiful revolver. It does come pretty clean. And one thing that really stands out about this gun is that forcing cone. I mean, that thing right there is just massive. You can tell it's designed for shooting magnums and more magnums and a whole lifetime of magnums. That's really what it's designed to do. That is very, very solid looking. I got a few swirl marks here and there. I think that's just from holstering it or rubbing it with rubbing compound. Sometimes I go over a little bit when I'm cleaning the leading off. Let me see down the bore, sort of, yeah, if it'll focus. The reason I got this thing, I got it for a wintertime gun, as a shooter gun. I wasn't looking for something to be a concealed carry. I was looking for the average size revolver that's basically a duty size gun. So this would be the 4-inch barrel. And when I went to the gun store, what I really wanted was the 66 Combat Magnum, and that is what I initially purchased, but it had some defects in it. So I took it right back to the gun store, and even though they already made a final sale, they took it right back and gave me store credit. So pretty good on the gun store's part. And reason why I wanted the 66, because I wanted something a little bit smaller than this, but I also liked the half underlug or partial underlug, whatever you want to call it, on those versus these full underlugs. I had a Model 629 that had partial underlug, and I really loved that. I've shot a lot of other revolvers with the partial underlug, and I like that a lot more than the full lug as far as appearance goes. But after I shot this thing, I really realized that the full underlug really does balance this gun out. It makes it shoot really, really well. It tames the recoil a little bit. It just makes that front, more than the recoil, it makes that front balance a little bit better. That weight there is just, it balances it really nice. So you see when I pull that trigger, and double check again, make sure it's unloaded. As you can see, there it is. You can see that when I pull that trigger, double action, you don't really see the thing wobbling around. So that weight in the front really does balance it pretty well. And I like that. So that is definitely an advantage on the thing. Even though I don't love the appearance of it, it really does help it shoot well. And this thing isn't really that huge. Look at my hand here. It's about the size of a 1911. It's not giant. I conceal carry it at times when I have something long enough, but my impression of this thing is just it shoots like a dream. It's one of those things. It just shoots like a dream. You can't ask for more out of a handgun, really. And I know it has the key lock and it has some of these, I guess, MIM parts. They're cast parts, but it doesn't really change how well this gun operates or functions. The thing about this is everything on it, the steel feels so smooth. It almost feels like what you would consider as soft. That's hard to explain. It's not soft, but it's just there's no edges that catch anything. When I felt the 66 though, the new Combat Magnums, it didn't feel like that. It just felt different. It felt weird. And this thing, it has that soft feel to that steel. That's the only way to describe it. I like these grips on it. I know in the past they used to use the Hogue grips with the little sharp finger grooves. I don't really like that on a gun like this anyway. Now on my little J-frame, my 10-ounce gun, I like that on that because it has that really aggressive finger groove right there. And I like that because it's a 2-finger grip. And when you go to draw it out of your pocket, you want that little extra finger groove to be able to grip it and rip it out of your pocket, and it helps to stabilize it too. But on a gun like this where it already has enough for 3 fingers, I find that this is a little bit better than the very aggressive finger grooves that are on the Hogue style. Plus, this doesn't expose the back strap, which to me it doesn't really matter either way. I handle recoil pretty well, and that's just genetics. I look at my palm; it's just kind of fat. My fingers aren't necessarily that fat or big, but that part of my palm is. It's very cushy. So it doesn't matter what I'm shooting, the recoil goes into that and I barely feel it. I'm not a super strong individual, but I happen to have good hands for shooting. I'm just blessed with that. So, yeah. So this is the 686 up close, and like I was starting to say before, I got this thing, I wanted a duty size gun for winter shooting. And it's because I'm a hand loader. Of course, you can see the gunpowder there. I don't want to be spitting 9mm 45 40 caliber brass all over the ground and go picking it up. I want to have something that I can shoot to keep all the brass, and I don't want to have just a little snubby, because that's not really a duty size, normal size gun. You got to have something normal size, average size, to really keep your proficiency with the gun this size. If you get used to shooting nothing but micro guns and then you go to shoot a larger gun, you're gonna have the same problem if you go the other way around. When you shoot nothing but large guns and then you go try to shoot a micro gun, you have a little bit of variety. And this is a do-it-all gun. So, yeah. And I noticed on the 66 that forcing cone it just wasn't as meaty as this thing. So yeah, last night I got to polishing the thing down. This screw right here comes loose quite a bit. I don't know why. I probably need a little bit of Loctite on there. Just haven't done it yet. And I always polish my cylinder face with the polish, chrome polish. Oh yeah, and a lot of people say that's not good for it. They say, you can wear down your cylinder face, but I did that hundreds and hundreds of times with my Ruger SP101. I never had a problem with that. Now, if you're just wondering what that gap is here between the forcing cone and the cylinder, I believe it is 0.04, I believe. Paper thin. I mean, truly paper thin. Let's see if I can get that in there. Just barely, it scrapes through. So that's a nice tight gap. Any tighter, and expanding metal might cause a little bit of sticking. Any looser, and you lose a little bit of extra gas. So I like that. The 0.04, you're probably going to get the advertised velocities of the ammo in the box out of this, because that gap is nice and tight. And then I went out and I did get this DeSantis holster, which I've always liked. DeSantis, they look as good as some of the higher end holsters. Very good quality, but half the price. Real leather. So in retrospect, I probably would have got a black one instead of this, because that extra, sometimes you lift your shirt, this little bit shows, and brown tan gives it away a lot quicker than black leather. So anyways, enough of that. I know it's the same old thing, but I do like this gun, and it's so smooth. It's so smooth. Take a look at this firing pin. There's the hand there, and let's take a look at that. Hard to see it. Nice sharp firing pin. I haven't turned the lock yet, but I'm probably enticing some of you to go out and get a Smith. You don't already have one. So I still think it is the finest revolver ever made. I don't think anybody can compete with it, really. Rugers make a good gun, but they're not really as smooth and all around as good of a revolver as the Smith & Wesson. So, anyways, there it is, and thanks for watching.